Welcome back, everyone. So since the last video, I already went ahead and modified and notched the core support for the battery. Welded this piece to this piece after modifying it, and also remodified the mount that goes to the fender. Right now I'm making a filler piece for this to come straight down and to curve under there, possibly bolt to this stud. The full size battery Optima over there will fit right in here. So I've got the sheet metal marked out. Piece over here, we're gonna put it through the roller and get a nice tight curve to it. Haven't decided if I want to do a rounded curve or sort of like a 45 on it. I'll start getting that all set up after I go in and cool down. Summer's here in Florida. It's still got a lot to go. I mean, not much more, but today's real feel, I think, was 101 in the shop. It's 108. It's just gonna get warmer here in August. August is our warmest month. So I'm pushing, we're gonna get this done. Once this is done and out of here, I'll be able to get the spray and foam installation and maybe be able to get this thing to cool down some. When I use my infrared, the ceilings are like 130, 134, walls are 112, 115, and it just radiates that heat in here and turns into an oven. So I'll go and take a break, and we'll come back out and get on the panel. And then once that panel's done, I get that all welded up. Go ahead and weld up the fender. This side is pretty much done. I'll get a different coolant overflow tank, as that one just barely doesn't fit. I need one pretty much the same thing, just a hair smaller. But it just doesn't fit no more. That's okay. We'll figure it out. Went ahead and made the piece, bent it, formed it, added the end cap for it, already cleaned it all up, welded it from the outside, got it smooth. But it's gonna come in and I'm gonna mount it just like so. That way that'll go up tighter. That way it closes off the battery and keeps the hot battery protected. I'm still, like I said in the last video, using the factory bracket. So I'll get this tacked on. Then once I tack it on, get it where I want it, I'll go ahead and weld it, fully weld all that, clean it all up, prime it, put the battery in, start hooking this side up. Stuck the battery in to show y'all what it looks like real quick. In nice and low. Plenty of space for it. Like I said, this goes down below and underneath, so if there's any water, it'll go underneath if anything gets up in here. Battery's got plenty of space. And that's it tacked in. Nice and enclosed. We'll get this tab bent back a little bit and add a piece to make this come completely tight to that. Fill that in, metal finish it. And I'm gonna finish this right here. I'm gonna add some metal to here. Normally I would add an inner skin from here So the inside of here, the customer already cut this stuff out, and I don't want to weld to their freshly painted truck. So this will just get filled here. This will either get cut flush, or I'll make a filler that'll go like right here. And kind of fill this like a triangle, and we'll give it a little more support. All right, so I pulled the fender, started welding it up a little bit, finished welding it, start to metal finish it. We'll get it hung on the truck and start on the driver's side. I gotta cut this. I already started bending that lip. I'm gonna cut that, I'll weld that in, and I'm gonna bring this one all the way down to this lip. I'll put a filler in here as well, so it'll finish, finish nice and smooth. So I'll get back on it. Got it all welded up. Now I'll start to clean it up and get it all one piece, metal finish it. All right, update. Got it all metal finished, all this part cleaned up. This is cleaned up. I'll smooth this out a little bit, but it's as smooth as I can get with my finger, you know what I mean? Like I can run my finger across it and it's smooth. This will get seam sealed. I need to clean this up and clean all this up, just the hair. I mean, it really, like I said, it isn't anything. It's dirty. But just a little more fillers on this one, the underside. Like I said before, there's gonna be a little piece filler needs to go right here. Same with on this side. And then I'll bring this up as far as I can and make it connect still. But I don't have anything left in here to be able to bring that all the way up. I'm not welding to the lip as there's the fancy paint job. I don't want to ruin it. But we're getting there. Alright, that's all smoothed out. We'll put a skim of Bondo on that. This will get seam sealed. Like I said earlier, it's done. Went ahead and smooth that out. This is nice and metal finished. I'll go ahead and flip it over and get those bottom pieces taken care of. All the metal work is finished, welded, metal finished, both sides. Next is the seam seal. Once I seam seal it, I'll tape it up to seam seal it, get a nice clean edge on it. And then I'll prime it. We'll be ready to put on the truck permanently. We'll move on to the driver's side. All right, I'm about to seam seal this one. I've got it all taped up. Do a little bit of body work on it, straighten some of the low spots or whatnot on it. Over here where I plated it, do some body work on there. So once I prime it, it'll look pretty good. So I'll go ahead and get that going. before the storm gets here. For the nasty one coming in, just started. So maybe it'll cool it off in here a little bit. See you guys in a little bit. All right, this one's ready. I'll get it mocked up in the truck, like I said, and then I'll prime it all. I'll prime both of them together at the same time. Time to pull the driver's side and get everything relocated. Morning, everyone. Getting an early start today to try to beat this heat. We got the passenger fender in, starting to put everything back where it belongs. I'm gonna make a bracket to hold these so when they're screwed down in, they don't go through the actual fender. This one, make a filler piece. It's gonna come out and around, close that off. Starting to relocate everything, run the wiring, got the fuse box and wiring all back together. We'll get this one mocked up on the driver's side, get it welded in, and move on to the back. Show you guys where we're at with the wiring. Like I said, started routing. Still have to make a mount for this. Keeping the washer fluid. So I went ahead, I got this fender welded up. I have to metal finish it. Little cardboard floating action. I gotta put another filler piece here. This metal finish this, clean this up. And this will be, I'll seam seal it just like the other one, do a very light amount of body work to it. Probably stick a little filler piece in here, make that solid. The washer container goes here, and this sits around it nicely to close it off. And then just like the other side, you can see in here that the little gap right here, I'll clean that up, put some metal in there. Little by little. Went ahead and added that piece I was talking about down here. I still have to, like I said, metal finish it. I'll clean it all up like that side, make it look smooth and good. But I just want to do a test fit. Got space around the box. See how it trims right around there, and then this little bit right here, if there's any water or anything gets up here, that I have a little room to drain. We'll have to clean all this up some more, but that's boxed around there because the plug stuck out a little further than I wanted, but tire only comes to about right here. Every step of the way, you gotta check it, mock it up, make sure everything fits. We'll weld this together here. Add a little piece right here. Finish that up. That's all closed in. Just like the other side. I'll metal finish it, seam seal it. Like I said in the last video, I have to make the brackets for these. I'll make brackets for the PCM to sit on here. The fuse box will sit on there. And I'll probably move the cool and overflow from there, run the line across the way, and just mount it right here next to here, out of the way. All right, it's been pretty hot in here. It's now after 7. I think it's just under 100 degrees in the shop. I got it all metal finished, body worked. They're just too hot to stop, take pictures, video. I just had to keep going, take my little breaks and just get back at it. but it's metal finished, prepped for seam seal, body worked, nice and smooth. It'll look real good in there. Once I once I seam seal it, I'll put it back on the truck and make a few brackets to each fender. Once the brackets are mounted on the fenders, I'll go ahead and prime them. Before I prime it, I'll have to tape all this off, that lip and everything, that way that paint stays. And then I'll probably just tape it off straight down this and just prime all this with it. So I'm gonna go take a little break and then I'll get it primed and back on the truck. All right, fender's hung, seam sealed, ready for primer. I'm gonna do the brackets, start mounting the rest of the stuff on top of the fender, as well as this one. And then the front will pretty much be done. So that'll be it for this video. Stay tuned for the next update. I'm ready to get this thing unwrapped and on the ground. I don't even know if I remember what this thing looks like underneath this wrap. No, I'm kidding. But still, I'm definitely ready to see this thing. I'm ready to move into the back. There's some, gonna be some fun stuff back there. I don't know if y'all remember what it looks like back here, but we'll be covering all this. For any of you that hasn't seen, this is the type of paint job that's underneath the wrap that we're protecting. So we'll be covering, go ahead and tub this, drive shaft tunnel, covering the link mounts. It's gonna go all the way across. We're gonna do a notch cover for over this. So stay tuned.